To respect everybody's opinion at least and let them
I don't
express
have to respect
themselves.
this opinion.
What's a transgender person?
Somebody who feels that they are the opposite gender. I've already described this many
So we're going to sterilize
times.
kids because of a feeling.
No, we're not sterilizing anybody.
That's exactly what's happening.
Like, you're a child. Like, if I look back on all the things I did when I was 16, that's a terrible decision.
Where I come from, you cannot just talk to people like this. There's respect. There's respect. Like, you do not know about respect.
What is going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today I'm going to go meet up with Billboard Chris, and we're going to be talking to UCLA students about how children cannot consent to puberty blockers, and then discuss the same topic with average people on the street. This should be a good time. Let's go talk to some people. Huge shout out to our friends over at Allegiance Gold for sponsoring this video. Children cannot consent to puberty blockers. Do you agree or disagree? What's going on, man?
Oh, well, like everything, it's a spectrum. Can 1-year-olds consent? No. Can 2-year-olds consent? No. Can 9-year-olds consent? No. Can 12-year-olds consent? I personally would say no. Can 16-year-olds consent? That's where we get into a different conversation.
Do you mind if I ask 15
Sure.
and up, or just are we going to do 16 and up?
Well, you know, it's a lot like, it depends a lot on maturity. If you were to set an age, I would just keep it at 18. But does it mean that I think it's criminal to make for a 16-year-old to take puberty blockers, or a doctor to give a 16-year-old puberty blockers? Not at all, especially if they've had a thoughtful conversation with their parents and their doctor.
So the primary point would be 16 and up, and a bunch of therapy sessions. Parents agree, yes, it's totally cool.
I would think that therapy sessions would be unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
Unnecessary, yeah.
What if a child has mental health comorbidities?
If a child has mental health what?
Comorbidities, other
What are
factors
those?
going on.
Other factors
Other
going on.
conditions.
Well, if they were to impair their judgment, and they were to impair their judgment to a degree where their parents would need to get involved regularly in their lives, then they shouldn't be able to make many decisions for themselves, not just whether to get puberty blockers or not.
It's a cute jacket you got
Thanks
on.
very much. Do you have any other material?
No, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay.
But, you know, I'll keep walking.
We got a
with you and
big
stuff.
genius here.
I'm a really smart
We
guy.
got a
yeah.
super genius here.
I'm a genius, I know.
So tell me, why do you think it's okay to sterilize kids?
Oh, no, I'm talking about jackets, man. So we're going to stick with jackets. Maybe 80s
Okay.
haircuts, too. What is your favorite 80s haircut?
Let's go with the mullet.
Ooh, no,
I'm a Canadian, so I
I'm
like
a
a good old
I'm a
hockey
Jerry
mullet.
curl man myself. I love those little nice tips. They're beautiful.
Trying to play tricks on you, but he's shaking.
I'm not shaking.
This happens all
It's a
the
little
time.
cold.
They get this,
It's hot outside.
they get this
I'm wearing
adrenaline.
a jacket and pants. Of course it's hot outside,
They
man.
get this adrenaline
You just
rush
said it was
because
cold.
they're so unused to seeing anyone
I'm
tell
indecisive.
truth that it's shocking to them, and they have to try to stop
I'm
it.
absolute. Oh, I'm
by
totally
any means
shocked, man.
possible.
I'm blown the away. I just can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that why you're behaving like this, or
No,
you want
it's
to
how
have
I normally act.
just have a normal conversation about this?
oh, don't talk however I want.
So just to clarify your stance right there. If they are suffering from other comorbidities, perhaps you would change your mind on your initial position. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you for the reasonable take. If you start digging into this, you will find that literally all of these kids have some other mental health comorbidity
So
going
I've
on.
dug into this a little bit. Do you know what I believe the exact number is below 50%, right?
No, it's way higher. It's
And also-
almost all of them, honestly.
Okay.
So about 50% of these kids are on the autism spectrum.
Okay. Do you know what the percentage of kids today that have some sort of mental affect or comorbidity, as you said?
Comorbidity.
Comorbidity, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I don't know if we have numbers on the whole general population,
It
but
is. It's higher than
it's
it's ever
pretty
been.
ridiculous.
It's
Oh, I
nearing,
know.
It's nearing 30%.
there's so many kids on antidepressants and all this sort of stuff. The world's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you disrupting?
I can't
Why
read.
do you not want to talk about this?
I can't read.
You can't read.
I'm
Okay.
not
Nope,
surprised.
cannot read.
Not
That's
surprised.
not coming
I'm
off
a
as
big
shocking at
dumb
all.
idiot. Can't read.
I'm not an ultra activist. I'm not even. I wouldn't even classify as an activist. But I do see things pop into my stream on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube sometimes, and the comments I see are some of the most disrespectful, harassing, bullying comments I've ever seen. And look, I would never take away anyone's right to say things, even if I think those things are awful. I do think that could. Do you not think that could explain some of the anxiety, the depression, some of the mental disorders that you see in the transgender population?
No. We're talking about what came first here, the chicken or the egg. So you're talking about people who are already identifying as trans who are now
Yeah.
getting bullied. It's not that they were getting bullied so they identified as trans. But let's back this way up.
Okay.
So first of all, bullying, very bad.
Bullying's
People
bad.
should not be
Yeah.
bullying anyone.
That's a good
Agreed.
take.
Okay?
Good take, you guys.
We all agree on
But
that.
also, you shouldn't take away somebody's right to bully somebody with an extent. To an extent. Like,
Different
free
topic.
speech-
Let's keep going.
Free
Different
speech is
topic.
important. Free speech
Free
is
speech is
speech
important.
conversation later, that's
Bullies
fun.
suck.
I can't read the
Well, it
signs.
says children cannot consent to puberty blockers.
we'll
Do you
read
think
it
it's
for you.
okay to stop children going through puberty?
Can you make that analogy into with the 70s haircuts thing and kind of, merge those two ideas together?
All right, you guys, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor, Allegiance Gold. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you're well aware that I think Bidenomics is a complete disaster. Biden's overspending and overprinting of money alone are two main reasons that Americans have been seeing skyrocketing inflation over the last few years. And many are faced with having to work a decade longer than they wanted or are coming out of retirement due to an extremely volatile and uncertain market. That's why many of my viewers are investing in gold, because the value of gold runs counter to the effects of Bidenomics. Whether you prefer physical gold and silver or simply want to protect your IRA or 401k, you can trust the specialists at Allegiance Gold who have the highest trust ratings in the precious metals industry. They've been sponsoring the channel for well over a year now, so I know them well at this point. Their relationships are based on integrity, expertise, and impeccable service. Go to protectwithklug.com today and download my free wealth protection guide. It'll tell you everything you need to know about gold, or you can give them a call at 866-335-KLUG. That's 866-335-KLUG. Also, get up to $5,000 in free silver on a qualifying purchase. Call them today, you guys, and begin your stress-free journey toward financial freedom. Go to protectwithklug.com. That is protectwithklug.com, or call 866-335-KLUG. Let's get back into this video.
All right, man. Well, hey, good talking to you, bro. Thank you.
I'll stay around and stuff.
Cool.
Oh, wait.
Hang out with you guys.
So
Fine.
this
Sounds
is
fun.
what insane people do.
I know, yeah.
They come along and they're not able to have a conversation, so their only strategy is to try to derail all conversations. Getting right back down to the basics here. What is a transgender child?
Oh, well, you're asking the wrong person. But
Okay,
if I were
hold
to
on,
give
hold
a
on.
definition-
Hold on. My man. Okay, I'm gonna let you answer. Sorry, I
Okay.
shouldn't have cut you off. But why are you the wrong person, first of all?
Because I'm not transgender.
Okay, so if we're gonna sterilize kids and cut off body parts, we should be able to define what a transgender
Oh,
child is,
sure.
whether we are identifying that way or not.
There is a good bit of discussion in the transgender community about what a transgender person is, which is why I say I'm not the right person to ask. I could easily say, not being gay, that a gay person is somebody who likes somebody of the same sex, right?
We can find
that's
that.
obvious.
Yeah.
But there is some discussion, some debate in the transgender community about whether a transgender person is somebody who simply changes genders by will, which I completely disagree with, or somebody who has gender dysphoria.
Between the puppy and the signs, we're gonna have a lot of conversations.
That's right.
What does it do I only know what it does to males. I don't know what it does to females.
Okay, so
Let's arm her.
let's do it.
I was like, I know that it
Armor with
makes
the
you-
facts.
As for boys, it stops you from being too, like,
So boys aren't gonna
Yeah.
grow facial hair, they're not gonna develop their deep voice, they're not gonna get the broader shoulders, it reduces bone density. For girls, their breasts aren't gonna grow, their hips don't get wider. So that's not talked about a lot, but if a woman wants to have a natural childbirth in her 20s and she was on these puberty blockers for years, well, guess what? That's not going to happen. These puberty blockers combined with the cross-sex hormones are sterilizing kids. Because guess what? We're not supposed to be experimenting on children and changing their sex with a pharmaceutical drug that's never been approved by any health body anywhere in the world and is given off-label to kids just to appease this lie that they need to be something they're not.
So you grew up as a tomboy,
yes,
and you agree with the sign.
correct.
Why do you agree with it?
Because it's the same way, like, children, you can't get tattoos, you can't, like, get nose piercings, you can't, like, you're a child. Like, if I look back on all the things I did when I was 16, that's a terrible decision. All the things I would have done at 16 versus now at 24, that's a terrible decision. And your brain's not mentally, you're not mentally developed enough to make a correct decision at that age.
Here's somebody that's stating something that's obvious. Actually, if people would not be so mind screwed up going along with ideology. They're promoting gender dysphoria. They're not doing anything to deal with the person that's struggling with it.
They're trying to push on us things that we don't necessarily agree on. They don't even ask us what we think, and they're really trying to push hard on this. And I have a 23-year-old kid, and one day he's going to be a dad, and I'm worried for my grandchildren. I don't want them to grow up like that. They are little kids. When you are 25 years old, that's science, your prefrontal cortex is when you are able to fully take your own decisions, not at 9 or 10 or 11. You cannot do that. You cannot take away our rights to be parents just because you want to fill in your hidden agenda.
I know there's Jazz Jennings, who was transitioned at 2. I have a 3-year-old daughter. My daughter at 3 years old, who just turned 3, doesn't know the difference between a boy and a girl. How did a 2-year-old know that they were a girl instead of a boy?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a vegan cat.
yeah, but I also
It's like
agree.
it's not vegan because it's choosing to be.
Yeah, like I'm very much on the side of, if you're an adult, do whatever I don't care. Just don't affect my life. But a kid, it's like, let them be, once they turn 18, let them do whatever they want. Like, once you're a legal adult.
It's cool that you brought that up, just because that is really our focus here.
Yeah.
At the very top, a lot of people try to, they ignore this, and it's that children cannot consent to puberty blockers. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
We've got the top trans health professionals in the world working at the most prestigious gender clinics in the country. At Boston Children's Hospital, for example, where the doctor says on video that children know seemingly from the womb that they are transgender. It's things like a little girl trying to pee standing up, a little boy trying on his siblings' clothing, playing with the opposite gender toys. These are apparently all a sign that your child is transgender and can be treated.
I did that growing up. I rode dirt bikes, I caught lizards, like I did all the things that my guy friends did. Like I was the tomboy kid. I played kickball, I played football, I played tackle football with kids. I did soccer growing up, like, but that doesn't...
Right. And now these same kids are being told that because they defy, sexist regressive stereotypes, that they might be trans and they won't find true happiness unless they transition.
I don't disagree that there's a struggle going on for these kids, but the way that it's going about is totally cruel and horrific, and it goes on the list of crimes against humanity. It's nothing to do with caring about the children, nothing to do about saving them from their psychological issues or whatever. It's all about promoting an agenda that ends in death and destruction, that supports the pharmaceutical industry, that disallows parents any say in anything, which is just unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's horrific on so many levels.
Say when you were like 13 years old, they gave you stuff so your voice doesn't get deep, your balls don't drop, you like don't grow armpit hair, mustache hair.
You end up with a micro penis.
Yeah. Well, he already has one, so
Yeah, we can't fix that one.
It'll make a difference. What do you think about that?
I think I answer. What's your question again?
Do you think we should be doing childhood sex changes?
Oh no, definitely not. Oh my gosh, no.
That's what I'm
There
talking
you go.
about.
That's what we're talking about. I do just want to get back to this, and Chris, if you don't mind, 16 and up.
Yeah, 16 and up.
They have they have the ability to say, Mom, I want to hop on puberty blockers. I want to hop on cross-sex hormones. I want to get a surgical procedure. All of this stuff before they are an adult. Why all of this freedom for a child to just do what they want to do when that's not how laws work in the United States?
Of
What's going on there?
Because, so when it comes to a decision about your personal identity, it's very different than, well, it's not much different than much else, I will admit. So your point is that why do we not let 16-year-olds do whatever they want?
We have a large history of protecting children from many things. I mean, things that are far less extreme than this. You can't go get a tattoo legally, okay? That's far less extreme than this conversation.
Absolutely.
This is a massive
So where I was going
inconsistency
first was that
here.
it's very different. But now that I'm really thinking about it, it's actually not that different from other things that that children are protected from under the law, like tattoos or like major decisions. I mean,
Smoking,
drinking.
Sex with adults.
Can I potentially push you, and I just cut you off, I apologize. Can I potentially push you to 18?
I could see 18 being a reasonable number. I could also see 16 being. I could also see 16 being a reasonable number, though.
You're right on
and
the
that's
edge
because,
right there. That's right on the
well,
edge.
the reason is because if you have the maturity to make a decision for yourself and your parents believe, and let me just, I'll make this point as quickly as possible. It's a bit of a complicated point.
Please take your time.
If you have the maturity and your parents believe that you have the maturity to make a decision about whether you have a tattoo, whether you want to have a tattoo, your parents can allow you to have a tattoo. They can sign off and give their permission.
Again, far less extreme. I understand. I think it's like 17 in some places. Far less extreme than this conversation.
My point is that we allow parents in this country to sign off on many things
They
to
can't
give
get
our
a 12-year-old a
kids
tattoo.
permission. What do you know what the age is?
I
Like,
said
can they
I
give,
said
like
17 maybe in some states.
I don't know.
No,
but they
absolutely,
can't
absolutely
usually.
not.
For parents permission.
Oh, jeez, no.
I don't know, but there's something
Is it
else.
like 14 or something?
I don't know.
I don't want to sidetrack the
man.
conversation, but real quickly, parental consent's not even needed in the state of California for any of this now.
Yeah.
For
child
surgery?
transition.
For surgery?
For puberty blockers surgery or
So
prostate
surgery is
hormones.
illegal for people under the age of 18 in the United States.
Very untrue.
Is it?
It's illegal.
Okay.
All right.
I just looked this up the other day. It's illegal
It's
for
illegal.
surgery. Bottom surgery is illegal for kids under the age of 18.
Okay.
You said bottom surgery.
Bottom
So-
surgery, top
so-
surgery. The one that you change where you change your genitals.
I'm gonna
I forget
have
which one that is.
I'm gonna have Chris take this one away.
Okay.
Surgery is illegal for kids under the age of 18.
So at Kaiser Permanente, just up the road in Oakland, California,
Mhm.
I've got on video. I can send it to you when we're done here. Kellen Lackhart is the psychiatrist there.
Yeah.
He's admitting that they have done vaginoplasties on 16-year-old boys. They've started the process when they're 15. I believe what he means when he says started the process is they have to do hair removal 6 months to a year in advance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get these ingrown hairs, and it causes infections. And
So they started that when they
So
were 16 or 15?
they started the process at 15. The actual surgeries were done at 16.
Okay.
Boston Children's Hospital, I exposed a bunch of their videos last year. And it said right on their website that they do these on 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
They then changed the website after I released their own videos to 18. Jazz Jennings, for example, there was a popular show called I Am Jazz.
Yeah.
You probably heard of it.
Of course, yeah, I remember that.
He was 17 when he had his surgery done.
17?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually thought he was much.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You got me there. She was much younger.
Well, I don't do the pronoun thing, but
whatever you want to say.
whatever.
I'm going to use
He
she
was-
just because I
okay.
don't want to be offensive.
Sure.
But
He was 17. This is
so that's okay with me. That's
not-
totally okay with me.
Okay, but you just said
You just said it
illegal
wasn't
is
happening,
illegal.
and now that it's happening, it's good.
I thought that
Is that what just
she
happened
was.
right there?
Whoa. Okay.
It's not happening. It's happening? Oh, good, okay.
Wait. So, I actually thought that she was much younger than that. I thought that she was maybe 12, 13, which I didn't agree with.
This is what people with no argument do.
Well, no, I'm talking
Yeah,
about
that's
some of these
fine.
haircuts, and this guy's just sitting there shooting
This
me
is what
down.
they do. They just come and act
Absolutely, that's what I do.
totally
I come here, act
insane.
like an insane
Their only
person.
strategy is to
Uh-huh.
cancel conversations
Yep,
because they can't
cancel
have a
conversation.
conversation.
Totally.
I actually thought that she was much younger than that. I thought that she was maybe 12, 13, which I didn't agree with. That's something that we can certainly agree on.
Well, they gave Jazz.
17,
So they gave Jazz
so-
puberty blockers at Tanner stage 2, which
Mhm.
is the technical term for the beginning of puberty. That's when they do this.
Yeah.
For girls, this is when their breast buds have first started to form. It's probably 2 years
Yeah.
before their first period. So all these kids are gonna be like 10, 11, right?
Yeah.
So they started Jazz on puberty blockers, so he wouldn't go through puberty. Because
what age did you say?
that was, I don't know the exact age, but he would have been 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Tanner stage 2 is the first stage of puberty.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And this is all documented on TV all these years. When he got to 17, when they did the surgery, he had a micropenis.
Yeah.
And what they do with this surgery is they castrate the boy, they remove the testicles, and then they slice open the penis and they invert it.
Yeah.
But because it never grew, there's not enough tissue to do the surgery. So in Jazz's case, they took out some of his stomach lining,
Yeah.
his peritoneum, and they used that to form the inner wall of this neo-vagina. Sometimes they take out pieces of these children's colons to form the inside of this neo-vagina because there wasn't enough tissue.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just barbaric stuff. It's all really experimentation. He had to have 2 more surgeries because there's massive problems. He has to dilate it for the rest of his life, otherwise it'll close up because it's a wound is what it is.
Yeah.
But no, they're doing this to kids as well. Not,
Okay, so
I don't know that they're
back to-
going younger than 16, but for girls, they're cutting off the breasts of girls as young as 12 years old.
It's very confusing. It's like it's very interesting how a pill can make you turn into a girl or a guy. You know,
It can't.
no, it can't.
No.
No, it can't.
No.
All you can do is modify someone's body.
Your bone structure's still the same.
This is a body modification cult that has taken over society and is being pushed by the far left and all of our political institutions on the left.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a girl turning into a boy turning into a girl. All you can do is give a girl puberty blockers and testosterone. These are the most disadvantaged kids in many instances, kids in state care, and they're just struggling in life. And now they're being told, oh, maybe you were just born in the wrong body and you'll find true happiness by physically transitioning. It's totally insane.
We're making a documentary about autism.
Are you?
Yeah.
I have autism.
He has autism.
Okay.
It's not. I didn't take a pill though. I did not take a pill. At least I don't think I'm a boy. I'm not a girl.
That's
Do you
absolutely.
believe in what they have to say?
I don't believe in this horse. Of course not. I just want to sit here and...
This is our country. You gotta let people have their own opinion.
I'm speaking freely.
You have to respect everybody's opinion at least, and let them
I don't
express
have to
themselves.
respect this opinion. Are you kidding me? Really?
It's very nice of you.
If you believe in it, have a conversation.
I don't think you're a dip. I mean, you're not the one wearing a cardboard sign.
If you believe in it,
It's plastic.
if you believe in it, then it's okay. And if you don't, just have a conversation. You're not helping anybody right now.
Why don't you listen to your fellow classmate, student,
You're not
and
helping anyone.
and listen to what he has to
If you
say?
don't believe in this, that's fine. Have a dialogue with it. But you're being very disrespectful.
I'm absolutely being disrespectful on purpose. I know.
Why would you be disrespectful right now?
Because I'm an ass. Sorry.
The New York Times reported earlier this year 300,000 children have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Tens of thousands have been given puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones.
Who gave that?
Thousands are getting their breasts cut off as children.
When I listen to people that have so believe and absorbed in the ideology that supports mutilation of children, they're so messed up. And then having read children who are no longer children, who can never breastfeed their child or never, they go, I did not know when I was 13 what was happening to me. I did not, and our kids really need us at so many levels of their growth. And right now, the parents that would say, no, let me help you, are being handcuffed to I mean, that's insane.
Would you be okay with kids being able to express themselves non-changing your body, but if a kid, like let's say there's a little girl who wanted to dress like a little boy, because that's all I did as a kid. I wore basketball shorts and a t-shirt that probably went to the basketball shorts growing up.
There's a term for that, for those girls. They're called beautiful girls.
Well, yeah,
That's
but
what they're called.
are you just okay with a kid just expressing
That's what
themselves
I'm
how
saying.
they dress?
It's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Girls don't need to wear dresses.
Okay.
They can wear pants and throw around footballs and play in the dirt.
They can
and
catch
have short
lizards
hair.
and ride dirt bikes.
Yeah. It doesn't mean they're not a girl. It means they're more fun.
I wanted to know, I mean, in your own life, do you have friends that say that they can consent to puberty blockers? Do you know people? Is it in any work that you're doing?
I've definitely met a few people that agree with that, but I know more people that disagree with that than agree with it.
Largely men, women, both.
Both, yeah. I've more women I know agree with it than men I know agree with it, but
More women agree with transitioning kids?
yeah.
Yes.
A lot of mama bears agree with you guys, and it's so crazy because it's activists and money that have gotten gender theory and all of this into every major institution in the United States, and not listening to the parents, because again, the overwhelming majority of parents agree with what you're saying.
I know. I have not bumped into anybody who disagrees with what I'm saying. So where's this all coming from? It's the politicians, as you said. It's the money. They're trying to push their hidden agendas on us, and I don't know where we're going with that.
Like, obviously, I'm different in the sense is like I'd put my kid through therapy and want them to deal with their emotions in a correct way. But let's say my kid was 12 years old, and the doctor came to me and was like, hey, your kid is either on the verge of committing suicide or they want to change them. I don't want to lose my kid.
Right.
I wouldn't want to, but I also know that I would put my kid through therapy. I would protect my kid in any way possible, but I understand that there's people out there that want to protect their kid and think that this is the only way to protect their kid.
And I was going to say really quick, and Chris, I'm going to throw this to you. When it comes to, they're going to commit suicide, that narrative paralyzes people, and it's probably one of the main reasons that people cite against Chris's point here. Chris, could you touch on that argument?
So first of all, more women are supporting this. Why is that? This ideology preys on their natural compassion and empathy and desire to protect, and they're being deceived. They're being told that this is helping a child to be their true self. That's fluffy, lovely sounding language. They're told that if kids don't transition, they will kill themselves. What a horribly manipulative, coercive thing to say. That, if we don't change you, you're going to kill yourself because you weren't born right and you need to be something that you're not. With what other condition in the world do we take a suicidal child and say, okay, we better give them exactly what they want?
None? That's like the same thing as you do with like people with eating disorders. You don't just be like, let's feed into your eating disorder. Yeah, you look great. It's like, no, you need help.
But on this, we're going to lie to a kid
Yeah.
and say, yes, little girl, you're actually a boy, and we need to sterilize you with puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones and cut off your breasts while you're 13, 14 years old. What child can possibly understand what they're signing up for? They're having a hard time in life. They need help. They don't need body parts cut off. A lot of people have been deceived because this is the narrative that's being pushed by the far left, that kids will kill themselves. And there's no data to support that. In fact, the only studies we have, the best comprehensive study we have is with adults out of Sweden, where nobody was lost to follow-up at all. And it showed that 10 years after sex reassignment surgery, suicides were about 40 times higher than the general public. And after accounting for similar mental health comorbidities, 19.1 times higher than their peers. So there's no evidence at all. It reduces suicides. All the evidence we do have points to the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So we've got all these girls, whether they're 16, 17, 18, or 19, they've suffered massive trauma, abuse, rape, girls getting raped, young women getting raped, girls with borderline personality disorder, girls who are struggling mightily. These are the most vulnerable people in society, okay? And they go into this appointment, they've got all this other stuff going on, and they say, I'm a man. And the doctor says, yes, you are. Here's your prescription.
If you're talking about somebody with such significant mental disorders that it's impossible for them to make a decision for themselves, then they should seek help and they should get help. If they are an autonomous female human being who is an adult, and I know the conversation
Well, an
about
autonomous
children,
female human being with all sorts of mental health difficulties is still an autonomous
wait,
human
wait,
female.
but we're talking about two different things. An autonomous human,
Hold on.
A woman who has minimal health
That's not what I'm talking about, am I?
should be able to get testosterone, should be able to transition, should be able to do whatever they want with their lives. If they are so incapacitated that they cannot make decisions for themselves, then we've always had a different way of dealing with those situations, not just with transgenders, but with every single type of person.
So normally, if someone has all these mental health difficulties, we should be treating those mental health difficulties first, right?
Absolutely.
That's not what's happening.
We're not in disagreement about that.
And that's what I'm telling you is that's not what's happening.
No, but it's fine if you don't believe in this. You don't have to believe in this. Just have an open dialogue. Be like, this is why I don't believe in this.
I don't want to do that.
So maybe we can get somewhere instead of just silencing people out.
I'm not really silencing them. I'm sitting there talking, giving my opinion and stuff. And see, obviously there's people gathered around.
What is your opinion?
I've been talking about 70s haircuts this whole time, and I haven't really gotten a good dialogue going.
How's that gonna help these people improve? How's that gonna help these people get with their point?
You're not give them 70s haircuts.
Why? This is not why they're here. They're here because they believe in something, and you're here because you just want to be an ass. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's
if you don't believe in this, then have a dialogue with them. That's completely fine.
I talk about 70s haircuts, and the conversation's really going nowhere.
And what I think is that you guys, this is too much freedom for you guys, because where I come from, you cannot do all these things. If you be disrespectful to people, you're done. Here, everybody's too nice, and that's why you guys are allowed to be like an ass. Where I come from, you cannot just talk to people like this. There's respect. There's respect. Like you do not know about respect.
I don't have to give this person any respect.
That's the problem, because you're right. You don't have to. This is why we cannot improve. This is why, someone believes something, cancel them out. Just block them. They do not exist. There's not open dialogue, and that's why we're as a country are rotting from within.
And that's so. What's your opinion of 70s haircuts?
The people watching this video, don't you think that you're just hurting your position by acting the way you are instead of him? He's actually making this look fantastic, and you're making your position look awful.
If you have a disability, that does not necessarily mean that you aren't transgender. And if you are transgender, then that does not necessarily mean that you have a disability.
But you can't even tell me what transgender means.
I could.
You can't.
I defined it as
when
somebody.
we first started this.
I said I wasn't the right person to talk to.
What is a transgender child?
I would say that a transgender child is somebody who has gender dysphoria.
So that's a circular definition. Having distress about your gender means you're the opposite gender?
Having distress is not the word that I would use.
That's what gender dysphoria is.
What I would say is feeling as though you are the opposite gender. If you were to magically grow breasts.
So being transgender is a feeling, is it?
If you were to magically grow breasts and become a woman, magically.
So let me clarify something here. Is being transgender a feeling?
Would you not? Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a feeling.
It's a feeling.
Did you grow up with the community? Were you close with the people who raised you?
I was an orphan, so yeah, I can't pull that card on me yet.
No, No, I can, and that's what I'm saying. There's a sense of community that you have to feel in order to understand respect, in order to understand dialogue.
I don't know.
You don't have to agree with anyone, but you can express your opinions.
70s haircuts is generally my concern. I am passionate, like I
Why
said.
are you bothering them?
Because the guy's got a pink jacket on. That's why.
That's not even pink.
Is it salmon?
That's not even pink.
What is it then? I mean, you can go ahead and keep talking, whatever. We'll just keep going.
One person in that exchange came off as the adult.
I
You
know,
guys want to guess which
I
one?
sound like a crazy person.
Hypotheticals are pointless.
Hypothetical.
We're
It's
not dealing
hypothetical.
in magic here.
If
okay?
you were to
We are
magically
dealing with
become-
reality.
if you were to
there are
magically
girls
become-
and boys, and there's no right way to be a girl or a boy.
Okay.
And the positive message we should be sending these kids
let me
is
ask
that
my
they're
question.
beautiful just as they are. But you want to tell them that,
Just
oh,
as
if a
they-
girl
just
has
they are
a
as
feeling that she's a
transgenders.
boy, that we should now be giving her sterilizing puberty-blocking drugs.
wait,
we should
wait.
give her testosterone so she's going to have to get a hysterectomy.
beautiful
They're
just-
going to cut out her womb
They're
because she has this
beautiful- okay.
feeling that she's in distress.
They're beautiful just as they are as transgender people.
What's a transgender person?
Somebody who feels that they are the opposite gender. I've already described this many
So we're going to
many
sterilize
times.
kids because of a feeling.
No, we're not sterilizing anybody.
That's exactly
we're
what's
allowing,
happening.
We're allowing adults and people over the age of 16 to do what they want if they are mature enough to
All
make
right.
their own decision.
What we need to happen, well, first of all, we have to stop voting Democrat because they're all pushing this agenda.
That's true.
And they're never going to stop until they feel like they can't get reelected. But we got to create massive awareness. Eventually, we need a movement of people hitting the streets. It's starting to happen because that's really the only thing that wakes up these corrupt politicians. People who learn about this, the more get activated and start fighting back. And it just takes a few people to really create change. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm trying to push it. I'm a Sunday school teacher. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher at a Catholic high school. So thank God at school they don't, where I work. But eventually they'll get forced by the law to agree with this.
Oh, yeah.
And where are we going? I don't know. So I'm
Yeah.
just trying my best. So, and everybody, try your best.
Be outspoken about it.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.